Holy cow, fruit basket upset.
Oh my gosh!
That's my cousin over there.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Auntie Marilyn. Look at her bed. It's full of clothes. What's the deal here? What are you doing? I think they are cleaning out the closet. Yes. What's happening here? The reason why they're cleaning out the closet, I'm going to redo these shelves. Oh, brother.
Lamberty.
What?
You better not be videoing.
I am.
No way.
I'm going to redo these shelves. You have a closet hanger so I can show why I'm redoing these shelves? You see these metal shelves here?
Not if you're videoing when I don't have all my makeup on.
No, here, just hand me one.
I can't find one.
Just hand me one. See, most of the shelves are like this. See these little supports here, see? They're every foot or so, and then you have to put your clothes in between there, and you can't slide them. Well, nowadays they have, actually, this was a long time ago, they have some other ones. See this little loop there? The loop-de-loop? It's like, what's the deal with that? Well, that gets it so you can slide. You can slide your hangers. Here, see, we've got some hangers here now. See, before you could only go like that, then you have to lift them up, and it gets kind of maddening after a while. So see, you can get a metal bracket like this, and look at this. You can just slide it along. You don't have to worry about that anymore. They even did it on the little side bits, but if you see something that I see, that's the top shelf up here, and here's the bottom one here. You see, they flipped them around. They did it wrong. They had some flunky come in here, and the boss probably gave them all this stuff, and they said, and they told them what to do, and they just flip-flopped it, and nobody checked out their work. Because see, this one is supposed to be down here. There's no way you're gonna hang clothes up at this one because there's not enough room here, right? Same thing over on the side there, and same thing over here. So because this is all done the same way, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all these metal shelves down at the bottom. I'm gonna take those off, then I'm gonna take the top ones and transfer them and put them down below here, okay? It's gonna be a pretty easy project because the backs just clip in and you can lift the shelves out. And so the backs are gonna fit. But the only thing that's different, see the pocket here, this is the bottom shelf, see? The pocket is smaller than the top shelf. See how tall the top shelf pocket is? I call this a little pocket that holds that at both ends, see? It's taller because this had to be longer to allow for this here and all that to give it enough support and all that. And so when I take it down, I'm going to take this pocket, put it down here, take this pocket, put the small pockets up above, and I'm going to have to transfer everything just like that. That's one of the things I'm going to do on this closet. I'll show you that. I'll show you the finished product when I get done. I'm not going to really show you how to do it. I've got other closet videos on my channel. It's basically we're going to take out all the brackets, then we're going to redo things, and it's going to be done the exact same way. So I'm not really installing anything per se. I'm going to look at that. So I did two here. Looks like I'm going to have to take these that are looped up. I'm going to have to take those off, but I'm going to leave these other ones here because then this is just going to pop up. It's going to be pretty simple. I've got something else to do in this closet. I want to show you that right now. Okay, so here's the other thing. When I take this all down, I'm going to use the same shelf brackets, and I should be able to take these supports. These supports are what holds everything on the front, okay? And so when I take them down, I'll take that shelf bracket, put it down here, take this one, put it up there. I'll have to look at it and I'll see these here are slightly different than the top ones. So maybe when I take it off, if I want to use the same holes, I don't know. Well, I might have to flip-flop these around and redo the brackets or make some new holes. If I have to do that, I got some caulking here. And see, I'm going to have some caulking because See, these pockets are taller up here, they're shorter down here, so when I put the shorter one up above, I've got this hole that's going to have to be covered, the bottom one, and I've got some white caulking here too. Yeah, I'll show you when I get done what it looks like. Class is now open. See, here were the pockets. Now those were kind of tricky to get out without messing up the sheetrock because these are just little prongs. See, once, in order to put this in, you've got these goodies here. You have to make 2 holes first, push that in. You take the pin that comes with it. Once you put it in there and tap that in, you tap that in with a hammer, and then on the back side, this goes through the sheetrock to there. As you push this in all the way, then it pushes this out like that. Okay, pushes it out, and that's behind the sheetrock. See here, here's one that I had to pull out. See how it pushes out behind the sheetrock? Now I have to get these out. See, here it looks like a little screw, doesn't it? You could try to unscrew that all day long and it's never going to come out because it was a pin. And so now I want to save these. It's like, how do I get that out of there? You could try to pop it. I got some little dikes here, and I can go like that behind there and just press on it and it gets it out far enough. Okay, I can wiggle it a little bit. See how it's out there a little bit? I can do the same thing here, just get underneath it and just like I'm cutting. See how it pulls out like that? Okay, now I can take my pliers and grab onto that and just kind of do that and pull on it. Okay, there's my nail I can use. Now I can push this back together. When I get ready to make my new holes, I'm going to poke that through there, use the same pin. You want to be careful with these little tongs, because if one side breaks off, then you're never going to get it to look like that behind the sheetrock again. It may not hold all the way. Then you'd have to cut this off, put a different type of plastic anchor in there, in the wall, and then put a actual screw in there. Okay, so if you're careful, you can reuse these. Okay, so here's another one. Just get in there, do that. See, there's no threads on there, even though these right here kind of mess you up because there's a slot there. It makes it look like it's a screw, but it's really not a screw, is it? Okay, so then I want to just kind of be careful with those. Now see here, I can't really get in there like that, see? So now see here real quick, as you put the pins in here, this pops out like I showed you, but some of these don't have a slot in here and some of them do. Okay, see the slot? Remember I was saying I don't know what that's for, because if you want to try to unscrew this later, you really can't. Well, that's so you can just take a screwdriver. After you tap this end, you can just use a screwdriver like that, and then use your hammer and tap it in with your screwdriver. Okay, that seems to work pretty good. But some of them only have this. So as you can see, when you pound this in, when you tap that in, you just have to be careful not to miss and put a ding in your wall with the hammer. Okay, because it's kind of easy to do. See this one here? As you're tapping this in, there's not much room to squeeze your hammer in there, you know, and tap, 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 tap. So you can take a nail set or something and set on there and hit it in that way. That's what I'll do. So just a few ideas for you when you're tapping those in. Now this video is not all about how to install this whole thing. It's just giving you some tips and ideas for your shelves. And the reason why we're moving this was why I told you to get this one like this up at the top, and then we're going to put the other one down here. But I just wanted to show you on these clips. Remember you saw how these were facing up. You're like, what is that for? If you want, you could push this down and it will snap into place, see, and cover up your little pin there. You don't have to do anything with those, but if you think that's unsightly, let's say if your shelf is down lower, see how they had this and you can push all those down. They were up, so they, see how they just push on down. And that kind of, you know what else that does? That keeps this from raising up. You see, this could raise up out of there, but chances are it's not going to, because once we get these brackets down here, all the weight on here is going to be on this outside edge. There's really not going to be any weight back here other than what's on your shelf in the back, and that's going to be pushing down. But that clip keeps that kind of locked into place. So I can go along and do that on all of them. But see, here's some other ones down here at the bottom. They just have a loop, okay, like that. And there is no clip on there. So what they had done on that, they took another one and it went up and around the other way. We don't really need those. I don't know why they did that. They didn't really have to do that. Okay, so I'm still working on these next ones. I'll go ahead and do these up here and explain a little bit more. Now see, this was where the old brackets were, and these were taller ones. Those taller brackets are going to go down low. And so once I get all done, I'm going to go ahead and take some caulking and go ahead and fill up all these. Go ahead and make sure you do that when you get done. Don't just leave those and say, well, it's just in a closet, no big deal. Well, it is a big deal because it's your name, it's your signature on here. And I didn't have any caulking, and I asked my cousin Pat if he had some here, and they did. He only has a tube of this. I brought a caulk gun, and normally I do it with a caulking gun. Where is it? I don't know where it's at. It must be out here somewhere. Okay, but I don't need a caulk gun with this. I just squirt this out. And you can get caulking in a tube. It's much cheaper to get it in a caulk tube because it's about the same cost, or it might even be more costly for a smaller one, and this isn't as much as a regular one, but then you don't need a caulk gun. Okay, so I'm going to use that to fill up the holes when I get all done. I'll show you a few more things as I go, don't worry. You see here, look at this. It's clear. It's not white. If you ever get this, I usually get white because it usually works for just about anything. This happens to be clear, so that means if I use this and when it dries, your holes that don't get covered, you know, if I cover this up with white or clear, it's still going to be black after it dries. Okay, so I'm probably going to use this to fill in the holes. But then once it skins over, then here's my secret weapon. Voila. Yeah, toothpaste. Any white toothpaste will fill up a hole. But I'm not going to use just the toothpaste because I'm going to use way too much toothpaste because I'm going to have quite a few holes to cover up before I get done. Okay, so I'll use the other stuff. Since I have the other stuff, I'll use that first. Then I'll use my toothpaste. So toothpaste in a pinch. If you ever got a hole in your wall or something, in a pinch, use toothpaste to cover your hole. Yeah, it'll work.